Okay, perfect. Continue, please continue, guys. Make sure that just to make sure to know that this call will be recorded. It will be distributed all over our DueDash community and on social media. The stream is on as well, so that we give as much possible access to everyone in the globe to attend this event for those who want to start their business at some point, but they're stuck on the point on how to get their startup funded. And usually we reach that point where we're unable to, well, at least get our business bootstrapped or finding the right investor or the VC that would be able to help us launch our business or grow our business at some point. So that's why we're having Yusuf here, which is, he's a friend of mine and he's an entrepreneur for the past 10 years. He has his own website and business called Talents List. It's a wonderful platform. He's going to tell us more about it in seconds, as well as he has his own experience in Dubai on how he was able to fund his business. Strangely, he tried all possible means to get his business funded. Eventually, he had to bootstrap it, but at least he learned a lot and he failed a lot at some point to figure out how he fund his business. But eventually, he was going to share with you his experience and how he was able to fund his business. What was it like to reach out VCs, to find angel investors in Dubai? How was it like? What challenges you're going through? And he'll show you as well the tips and secrets and how to overcome such a challenge. So again, we will start that once we give you first full introduction about DueDash. What is it about? What's the meaning of DueDash as a startup community that support founders and entrepreneurs to get their business investable? We have Rodolphe joining here. And Anurag, hi Anurag, where are you contacting us from? You can write down in the chat box if you want, it's fine. We would love to see each other. Yeah, we have some good chat people talking here on chat. Wow, I'm so excited to see this much of people who really want to know how to want to improve their business and reach better points of understanding how business works. Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Shias right now in Dubai and came to Jitex. I was in Jitex. I wish I have met you to showcase our product. I would love to speak to you as well. So yes, check out my chat box. I'll keep putting down my email so that we can stay in touch and probably have a chance to talk together. So everyone can introduce themselves on the chat box and talk further about where they are contacting us from. And if they have any questions, please write down. Me, Yusuf, and Marcus are here to support you and find out how we can give you a chance actually to overcome financial challenges probably you're having when it comes to funding your own business.
Yeah, hi Tom, if that's fine for you, I would just take it over from here. Just make sure quickly to give me the host rights again so I can also start the live stream. Independent from that, I would just like to give you guys a very, very short introduction about DueDash in general. So I would just quickly share my screen here. And then you should all see that, right? So, well, also from my side now, welcome everybody to today's event. I'm happy to see the Dubai Sparring Ring now kicking off with Haitam as our DueDash city leader. My name is Marcus. I'm one of the co-founders of DueDash, and our mission is on a global scale to make startups investable. However, global community building is a great thing because you can have one overall mission. However, every local area has their own blind spots, the own challenges to overcome. And this is why we have started this overall city leader sparring aspect. As Haitam has already said, our mission here with the DueDash community platform is to bring together founders, investors, and experts from across the world to not just educate on the overall startup process from ideation to funding, but a special focus on the fundraising process to help startups become investable in the first place by building a business with focus that is targeted on getting the investment one day, and thereby, by having done those pieces, receive the needed funding out there. Looking at what we offer in general with DueDash is, well, through the community platform, we enable the connectiveness of founders, investors, accelerator programs, co-working spaces, universities, e-cells, whoever ecosystem player belongs to a system to connect not just on local, but also on a global level. You can find your own co-founders and team members through the sparring rings, and specifically there's always a team and hiring area there where you can find new people for your team. You can validate and test your ideas. We have all different types of content types. You can ask polls, questions, hot code questions, multiple choice questions, which allow you to validate in very different ways both on the local and again on a global basis. Then you have beautiful events like the one today, which is on for the Dubai Founder Sparing Ring, but also from other community members, not just DueDash events, but also from other community members that you can both list yourself, but also attend on a global scale. And then, as you can see, we are offering, as part of our mission to make startups investable, we are having the free investment readiness check, including credits that are attached to that for startups from AWS, HubSpot, Freshworks, and lots of other software deals that you can also get for free discounts on softwares that usually cost a lot more. And then obviously we also do have some extra paid services where we can manually really help you if you're struggling to get the funding, to help you with your whole investor relations, the targeting of investors. But also if you're an accelerator program, we allow you to use our digital infrastructure to fully run a virtual accelerator within a matter of seconds, and also onboard your own community if you do have a community by using our group and academy function. Just very quickly, as I said, whereas Dubai has its global mission, it's very important to have people like Haitam who understand the local ecosystem, the challenges, who know the players in there and know how to build it up. And that's what we want to deliver. So if you go on the DueDash community platform, you click on the group area, you can find more than 15 founder sparing rings across the world, not just in UAE, also in Africa, in India, in Germany, in the UK. So there's different places where you can connect with people. And it's really about bringing this local sense, even in the time of Corona, where everything, in the end, it doesn't matter whether you're sitting in Dubai or Germany, we can all just see each other through video. But this is the general idea behind that. If you're interested to follow into the footsteps of Haitam, feel free to contact us also to become a city leader on your own. And this is what I've just quickly mentioned because it fits perfectly to today's topic on how to get a funding. We assess your startup's investability on a high level for free to give you guidance on where you should focus your business next in order to become investable. Because before you go to investors, you should be sure that your startup is investable because you don't want to burn the one chance you might only have with an investor. And with that, I would already like to give it to Haitam. If you need any more information, feel free to visit our community website, contact Haitam, or also our local global community leader, Michael here. And yeah, happy to hear more about you guys and your endeavors on the startup ecosystem.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much. Well, I appreciate it, Marcus. Thank you very much for this wonderful intro. I hope you guys got the point. Our community is open to anyone who would love to join it, to give a chance for you to connect with global access to other founders and investors. And definitely, if you need anything, you can come back to me. I will add whatever information you need. Marcus, you can mention your email as well for everyone who would be interested. For time being, Marcus, shall I try and make you a host now, right?
Yes, please.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so we have guys here. We have Yusuf Hamouda. He's a friend of mine as well as. For how long have you been entrepreneur? For 10 years in Dubai, marketing wizard, doing your own business, which is talentslist.com. So I would love to hear from you first, Yusuf. What is talentslist.com? How you were able to fund it at some point in your life? What challenges you went through, and what are your top tips for new startups or for those who are looking for the fund in Dubai? Please go ahead, Yusuf, and tell us a little bit in just a few seconds about yourself and talentslist.com.
Yeah, hello guys, good evening. Thanks for joining first of all, and thanks for DueDash for arranging this webinar. I guess this is such a great things to connect and to share. Now about me, I have been into the business for more than 10 years in media and advertising. Until now, I'm in the same industry. Recently, like a few years ago, I started Talentlist. It's a booking platform for artists, for anything related to art or entertainment, and for content creation. So the platform is catered for different kind of acts, and we have been working on the development and connecting with investors and VCs like maybe a year ago. So we got really some good insight, which I'm going to share with you. But before I actually join, I start with investment and the process. I would like to share more valuable insight about the idea of the startup. Now, currently, what we are facing, we have an issue between expectation and reality. So most of us have an expectation, but reality is always different. You see, like when you starting a job, your expectation about the job that is going to be happy, for example, or it's easy or not much of a challenges. And then when you start your job, you see that there is different challenges away from what you thought about. And the same thing for starting your own business. Starting your own business is more challenging than the job because you have to handle multiple aspects of your business, starting from the concept itself, the development, the finance, maybe design and development. And definitely many people, they do have the team, but the challenge is like how actually to go on with the business, how to continue with the growing your business, or at some level or some point you want to get the investment. Now when it comes to the investment or going for investors, there are different type of investors. There is an angel investors, and there is an expert investors, and there is the VCs. So I want to start with the angel investors. If you have your business and you would like to get investment, usually the angel investors is the people with the high income, the one which they don't mind to invest something in a type of a business that would be an adventure for them. So if you know those people, they would be working as a doctor, engineer with a high level income. So those people somehow they get bored with the type of business they are doing, and they want some, new adventure. So you can reach out for those people. Sometime maybe could be your dentist, for example. So the idea when it comes to investment is you need to be open with people and start talking about your business, about the challenges, about what you are doing, because nobody knows what you are doing unless if you are expressing it, sharing it. So be an outspoken and to be connected with the people around you and to share with them what you are up to. That would be a great idea to get to an angel investor. So the angel investor, they will not ask you a lot of questions. They would be interested in investing in your business because either they know you or they like the concept, or something else might be like the type of the industry or whatever, or someone from their network into this business. Some of the angel investors, they could actually be helpful for you because of their network. So depend on the type of business and the type of industry, they could drive some customer to your business because of their network. Let's go now for the other type of the investor, which is the experienced investor. Sometimes they are independent, sometimes they are under the VCs. So those investors, they would ask you a lot of questions about your business, how much your traction, what you are doing, and how you are planning to grow up, and what is your market size. So with those type of investor, I guess you have to build a really proper pitch deck with good information and forecast about what you are planning to do, because if you want to approach those people, you need to know exactly what you are saying, because they are an expert. They have done some investment in other businesses, and they know what they are doing, and they know what they want to reach. Now, finally, the VCs, which they are larger pool of investors, where they actually can really support your business and give you a big investment. I guess going to those VCs could be at a later stage, because you have to start from somewhere and then go to VCs. Initially, starting with the VC, I guess it's going to be difficult. But first of all, for the VC, they need to see really good traction. And what I mean by traction is some income, some sign up for the user, let's say, and they want to see some process or progress in your business. Like they want to see if they invest in your business, how much they will get as a return. So those information has to be there in your pitch deck, showing how much the return on investment, what is the value of your business. The business value is very important for them, and they want to see the forecast for the next, let's say, like 3 to 4 years, and what are your expenses and how your expenses going to grow, and so on and so forth. Now, those are the things about the type of investment. I guess most of you know them, but I want to tell you now how to approach the investors. Usually, when you are approaching the investors, let's say if you are approaching not the angel, because angel are the easier type of investor. Let's say when you're approaching an expert investor, don't approach investors because you just want to tell them, you know what, I have a business and I want you to invest in my business. Don't do that, because it's like when you are applying for a job. To take a similar example, every company received a lot of application, a lot of people they want to work. So when you are applying in such a way, they will immediately ignore your application unless if there's something outstanding or something different. But if you want to get an investor, especially the expert one or the VCs, so you need to tell them like, okay, I'm doing this business. Since you are an expert in the investment field, I would like to share with you what I am doing or what we are doing, and I would like to get some insight from you. What do you think about what we are doing? And then if the person is interested, they would actually look into your business and they would see your plan and they would see what you are doing. And then maybe they would say, for example, you know what, I think you have a great business, but you need to develop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You go ahead and you develop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you come back to the same person and tell, okay, I have developed this. And then that might lead to an interest from the investor. And they would actually say, okay, what about if I would invest in your business? So that it's totally depends on the stage of your business and what you have done, and many other factors. But I think the best way to do it is to be able to bootstrap it yourself. There is something called the minimum viable product. You need to make sure that you have the full cycle of the business. Now, I guess most of you, or whoever is actually doing a business now, they are trying to come up with an online solution. So the online solution, or the online business, it has a cycle where the customer comes in and then go into your business and understand it and then buy the service or the product and then checking out. So this is like called the minimum viable product. And I guess this is something has to be complete with all the aspects from the user coming into your business, your website, your app, to the checkout. So everything has to be done. Then you will be able to go to investor, because you could show them that, yes, I have the whole concept. But if you create the concept to a certain extent to point A and B and C, and then you miss D and E, then this will be actually not clear for them, and then they will ask you a lot of questions. And with the expert investor, they would not actually invest in your business. The good things about us as a human, our brain visualize everything. So when it comes to, anybody have a business idea, you would actually visualize everything in your mind. Everything would be super ready. And when you go and meet anybody, you would be able to tell them about, oh, I'm going to do this, and it's going to start in A and going to B and then C, because you see it yourself. It's your idea, it's your baby. You have everything in your mind, but when it comes to other people, they won't understand it, unfortunately. So the idea is you have to create the whole concept and then go for investment. Now, some of you might say, but yes, there are some other people, they haven't created anything, but yet they get the full investment on a presentation. It's totally depend on your connection, like how many people you know and what they are doing and how much they trust you. So your connection is the key. It's very important. So I guess you should capitalize on that. I mean, if you have somebody could invest in your business. So first of all, you could actually start with your circle, like the people that you know, I mean, the people who trust you. So yeah, I mean, that's what I can see for the investment. I don't know, Haitham, if you have any question you want to ask me.
Yes, sure. Now, I was wondering when it comes to the stage, when definitely when we are on a seed stage, on the advanced stage of their investment or their funding, do you recommend reaching specific channels in this case? Do you prefer that they reach VCs when it comes to this amount of money? They have bigger chance of getting funded, while maybe they can reach angel investors in the very early stages. So based on your experience, which channel do you think it should be a good start for them, from the early start or to the advanced part of the
Yeah.
funding stages?
Maybe at the early stage, if they cannot bootstrap themselves, they might join a friend as a co-founder or somebody who have some money to actually invest in the business. Or maybe they can be a group of people, so everybody will handle something from their expertise. So if we are talking about the online for instance, somebody can be in development and somebody could be in marketing. So 3-4 people could cover the business needs for the beginning. At a later stage, I guess, I mean, if one or more, they could actually go for angel investor. I don't advise to go like directly for VC. So angel investor are much easier. And you know, like we have them in our network, but the idea is just to communicate to them and to tell them about the business and to introduce the business in a way that they actually can buy it. They could invest in it. Yeah.
That's right. That's really interesting, Yusuf. By the way, our community really support you guys when it comes to connecting with you with right investor. We have already created like an assessment, investability assessment. This is a good assessment for you to make sure if you are ready, or is your business investable, ready or not. So please check out in the chat box. I added our community access or community link so that you can directly get into our Dubai sparing ring, and you can connect with me also on WhatsApp, so that we can initiate, also facilitate the way you guys join our community to help you find out ways how to connect with investors. And by the way, guys, if so far you have any questions, please don't hesitate to write down in the chat. We are here to support you. We have Yusuf for this reason, to help you go through the challenges, financial challenges, or the funding challenges you're going through. Now, I have a question for you, Yusuf. When it comes to connecting with investors, as I know, especially with angel investor, the secret is to build kind of trust with them. It's not easy that we just try to drop it and, hey, we throw the hook and pick it up from any angel investor. You know, you have to build that trust. You told me a story about how you're able to establish that. Can you please go ahead and tell us more about it?
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, I mean, if you will go for investor, as you are going for a company, applying for a job, for investment, you need actually to connect with people on internet. Like for instance, maybe to connect with them on LinkedIn and to send them to start a conversation, like just by saying, you know, hi, this is me, I do this, and definitely they are not going to respond to you immediately. I mean, if you don't know them, you need to socialize now. Today with Corona, I guess everything gonna happen online, but I mean, to be more active, try to see the people. I mean, they would be somewhere in webinar or an online event. So you need to communicate, try to be there, try to highlight yourself, and then present your idea. Present your idea as if you just want an advice, because those people, they have an experience. And when you come for them asking for advice, they would like it, because, you know, like they reach a stage where money does not matter for them, but actually what matters for them is just to give an advice, to be part of something they might like. So you go for them, ask for advice, tell them like, I see that you have a great experience in this field and I need your advice, and make sure to go for the investor who is relevant to your business. So when we talk about, let's say, angel investor or other type of investor, especially the expert one, see the investor who invest in similar businesses, for example, and see with their portfolio. Try to do a due diligence yourself to understand about them, and then approach them. Yeah.
That's absolutely great. We have a question from Anurag in this occasion. How is raising funds in Dubai or UAE in general is different from the rest of the world? Like, for example, USA or Europe, which is a really interesting question. I find a lot of entrepreneurs, some of them struggling about it. Nevertheless, I still hear news that, hey, there are many companies or many startups are getting funded, not just in UAE and around Middle East, which is kind of like a complicated issue, but still we are doing that. So how is it different, do you think, from global perspective, from USA, from Europe, from Emirati perspective? How is it different? Do you have an idea about that, Yusuf?
Yes, I personally, I think it's all about culture. You know, when we talk about Middle East, people in the Middle East, they would be interested in a certain type of businesses, something that they can understand, something that they have done in the past, and they don't like risk. You know, like if you come to the Middle East, you will see like the investor investing in things which they don't have much of risk. It's something like not totally new, something that has been tested before, something that has shown a previous record, so they actually go for that. But when it comes for something like totally new, I don't think people in the Middle East in general, they have that kind of interest. So when you go to US, for example, you see like that more, maybe Europe, somehow similar. But yeah, I mean, one thing about the investment actually, make sure if you have a business to create an offshore business, like to do the offshore formation for the business. This is a very important factor when you are at a later stage. I mean, at any point, I very recommend actually to create the business formation somewhere in Virgin Island or Delaware. Why I recommend that? Because creating that business formation would actually allow you to onboard investor on your business in a much easier way, because those countries or those cities or those location, they have been doing this for a long time. And when you actually having an investor creating the share and the shareholder agreement and the whole law for business, it's very much friendly for investment. So and then when you are going to any local destination in your country or anywhere, if you needed actually to create a local business, you can create a local business, or you can create a branch for your offshore business.
Interesting. Thank you for sharing this information. We have another question from Shias. Actually, he's asking if we have user traction, and usually this is the thing that we all talk about. If I have an idea, if I have traction, if I have something running already, maybe no revenue yet, like this case, for example, he doesn't have revenue yet. Will the angel investor be convinced or be interested in funding my business? I think this depends on the budget. The budget size maybe has to play a role, right?
I can tell you something about angel investor. They would be interested in funding your business even without any profit or without any traction. So angel investor, they don't mind. That's why he called them angel investor. So they go with you from the seed round. Like they can go from they can invest in your business at a very early stage. Maybe you have an idea and you are sitting with someone from your network, whether it's engineer or doctor or someone with a high income, and you can tell them about, what, I have this idea and I want to start doing that, and here's a small presentation and this is how much we needed. They would actually invest. They would put like few $1,000, like 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, depend on the business. But to be honest, like starting a business, like if you are starting 5,000 or 10,000, it's not enough actually to start. Maybe actually you can do something just like kickstart, but actually when you move on, then you have to keep investing and investing and investing for developing the idea. I mean, depend on how big is your idea. Somehow like if you are doing a website like for a cloud file, like a WeTransfer, does not require a lot of development. So it might be like a month of development. But when you are doing something with a complex service or complex product and you want to do the development, then I guess, and I mean, one thing which I want to tell you about the marketing, when we talk about your business, I mean, everybody goes for online and they spend a lot of money in marketing. And it's a good idea. I mean, if you have the fund that you are able to spend, then go ahead and do it. But if you are just starting a business, try to capitalize on the services which does not cost you a lot of money. Like, for example, think of email, think of referral marketing, think of something that can grow. Think of LinkedIn, how they started. Think of Facebook, how they started. They used that kind of email invite, people inviting each other. I mean, yeah, think of those ideas. And since Marcus, he mentioned a good point about the services that free software like AWS. I mean, if you are developing a business and you want to scale it up, I would really recommend you to use, I mean, for the online business, I would really recommend you to use AWS. And the credit which you can get from AWS, it has a great value for your business. I mean, you need to know about it, or your developer needs to know about it, how to integrate the AWS services, but AWS services would save you a lot of time. And personally, we are using it and it's great. So I would really recommend that.
Cool, cool, wonderful, Yusuf. I have Anandu who have also interesting question. They are past the bootstrap phase and they are trying to raise an investment like around 50 to 60 USDs, 50K USDs, right?
Okay.
And so on. They're trying to beat up. So they ask, should we pool all of them in together or should we look for a proper investor?
Like, if they are making for 40 or 50 to 60,000 US dollar, I mean, this is a decent amount. I mean, for a startup. So I suggest them to go for a different type of investor. You know, like you need to knock on all doors. So I mean, with VCs, I think depend on what type of business. I think if the business concept they are doing, it's something new and cool, and maybe the VCs they don't have something similar into their own portfolio, then it might be a good idea. And but if not, then normal investors can do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think they depend on in which country they are. Maybe later on I can tell them. I mean, whoever is interested to get an investment, I can tell them about different platform for investment where you can get investment and investors.
Interesting, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Yusuf, for sharing that. I hope
Yeah.
they got the good answer. I have Yamin asking another interesting question. He's developing a web app for kids, some kind of a drawing board, all right? And does the investor care about that, or they have specific ideas to care about? Now, this is a topic that could ramify between, shall I go to a specific niche angel investor in this case, or VC, or in this case, we should consider examples from the world. For example, we can see that kid stuff, kid toys, kid applications, kids videos, there's high traction on them, and there's probably some sort of competition. In this case, let's say, first of all, there is some kind of awareness among investors about this is something that is like highly required. They ask for about, it's trendy topic. Okay, it's a niche product, could be. In this case, would investors be aware of it as a key product, or should we approach, or should they, or could Yaman approach from perspective of IT, look for IT or technology related investors? What do you think would be the best way to approach them?
Like for kids nowadays, yes, I agree with anything related to kids, especially with the situation we have right now. I guess there is a high demand on everything for kids, teaching, whiteboard, or whatever it is. Now, depends on how this product is competitive or the software is competitive, and depend on the features that would actually make the investor interested. Because you know, when you are creating something, and this is something which I really want to tell you guys, if you are creating something which has a competition, has like something similar, they will always compare your product to that product, and then they will tell you, oh, okay, then your product is not good enough, or your product is good enough. I want to mention this example. There are, when you mentioned the investors in the Middle East, it's not about the Middle East, but this is just like a global, like Uber, for instance. You know, it's a global company, and here in the Middle East, we got Kareem. So Kareem, they have created like similar concept and they got an investor interested. Why? Because the concept is validated, the concept is working, and the Uber car is already there. So they provided the app for the same car, for same driver, so the driver can switch between the app and get the business. So they haven't actually invested in finding the driver because they already there and they have everything. And then after some time, because they got the investment and Uber, they see that they create a challenge for them, so they bought them. So now Kareem under Uber and this type of investor, they actually like to invest in the copy concept. Why? Because it's validated and they know that the big brand or the one who created this product, they would actually buy the new child which copy them after some time. So that is the idea. I mean, when we talk about similar example, for me, I don't like this approach. I mean, because I create something and after some time I know that I'm exiting. I like to create something from scratch, something new. I like to create a solution for a current issue. So if we are creating a solution, then this is an added value. But creating another copy might work, might not. And if it worked, the big brand or the big company or the original brand who created this concept, they would come and they would buy it. So I don't go with this approach. So I don't know if that is, I guess Haytham is busy. So if you guys have any question, feel free to ask me.
I had a call and I finished it on time, luckily. Yeah, so I seemed like everyone, mashallah, everyone is like able to get all their questions. By the way, guys, check out Yusuf's website. Yusuf, can you please write down your website in the chat box so they have also access to talents list. Maybe it will inspire them to come up with some idea at some point. They might become your competitor, who knows? But at least you're the guy who inspired them. Of course, talents list, talentlist.com.
Yeah. So,
cool.
I mean, I don't know if you heard me when I actually answered the question about the app for kids. I just made my own statement about those kind of similar app or similar concept, which can be copied from another brand or another company, and then the company would come and buy it because it's just a copy for them and it disturbs their business in some restriction, and then they sell the business. So that type of approach, which I personally I don't like because it might happen, might not. A lot of people copying. I like the original concepts.
Yeah, I remember Yusuf, you told me a story about your experience with VCs, how hard it is at the beginning. At some point, you were trying to reach them, they were not convinced. You reached a point where they started calling you. I mean, everyone probably going to wish that they reach a point that finally VCs are calling me to invest in my business. What would happen? What happened at that stage? What could happen? How can we help Philip? How can I help Yamin? How can I help all these guys to someday VCs or some angel investors reach them out, tell them, hey, we are interested in your idea. I would love to know how you can pitch that to me. I would want to invest it. Please tell us what happened to you and what advice you have to guide to our friends here to at least get a point where they attract VCs, attract investors at some point.
Yeah, first of all, you need to focus on your business. Forget about investors or anything. First of all, create the MVP, the minimum viable product. Make it ready. One. Second, invest on your pitch deck. Make a great pitch deck. It's something like your CV. Like so many people, they think, I'm having a CV. No, your pitch deck has to be really cool. Not only cool by design, by information, by summarizing the information. So create a great pitch deck, invest in it, and then reach out for them. Like you need to send them your pitch deck. They need to hear about you. As I said, like there are two ways. Either, you go to investor who actually part of the VCs and take their advice, try to actually tell them, you know what, I need your advice, or just apply. There are different websites to apply. So the idea is you have to get exposed to them as much as you can. They have to see you. They have to hear about you. I mean, if you can actually invest in PR, publish news about your business, maybe do small paid campaign. So that kind of thing. So they need to see you. They need to see that, oh, okay, this business is doing something. They are actually there. And then, yeah, they would actually get back to you, definitely. And do not tell them, please, I need the investment. Just be like, whatever.
That's really interesting, my friend. I remember that. That's a really interesting story. I mean, everyone would love to reach a point where they receive a call like, "Hey, we are interested in your business." But yeah, definitely, your business has to be convincing. At least preparing an MVP is really important at some point. Now, there's a challenge when it comes to coming to Dubai to start a business. Some of them find it kind of challenging to. I mean, moving to Dubai all out of a sudden, some of them probably have bootstrapped their business in India. But do you think at some point there are a big chance for them to grow in Dubai? Because I feel like everyone's trying to come to Dubai and start a business here. And somehow it's kind of like a no man's land. What are we going to do here? Not everyone's used to Dubai as a country in Middle East. Well, let's say Pakistan, India, countries that are surrounding the Middle East. Well, they know a little bit about Dubai and how famous it is and how is it a good place for you to start a business at some point. But would you suggest or would you advise, for example, startups in India to move to Dubai, to grow in Dubai at some point? Don't you think that will be a big hub for them to spread all over the world at some point? What do you say about that?
Now, again, when we are talking about Dubai, then we are talking about the targeted location. So your services has to be designed for the people in Dubai. You see what I mean? If your business, that type of business, then yes, I advise you to come to Dubai. But when we are talking about investor and investment, I think you can go globally. You can go anywhere, and especially now, and you don't have any limitation. You can get investors in Dubai, or you can get in Europe or in the US, maybe in China also. Depend on the type of business that you are doing. So there is no limitation. So I don't think that Dubai could be just a limit. Again, depend. Like if you are doing an online store selling products in Dubai, then yes, I think maybe you can do it in Dubai. But if your business like selling something in India and you want actually like a product or service and you want to reach out to Dubai, then Again, I can say that. But if you are just selling a service that anybody can get it, yes, you can reach out investors in Dubai, but it's gonna be challenging because they receive a lot of offers every day. So you need to approach them in a different way. And not only investors in Dubai, but globally. I think don't go where is everybody's going. You go to somewhere where at least you are there and not so many people are there. I mean, maybe you can go to some European country or maybe to Hong Kong, for example. There are a lot of investors who would be interested in investing and they are not in Dubai. Just when you go to LinkedIn, for example, search for the people, like search for investor or search for angel investor. Those people, sometimes they highlight themselves. So search them, connect with them, try to open a friendly conversation, like, no, I'm interested to get investment for my business. No, hi, I mean, I'm Yusuf from Dubai. I have been here for a few years. I would like to know more about you, what you're up to, whatever it is, open up a conversation, try to understand about the people. I mean, socializing, it's socializing. But I don't, like say, okay, go to Dubai or go somewhere else. Unless if you have something specific that's your business has to be in Dubai, then I can say that.
Interesting, Yusuf. And in the terms of the networking part, actually, since what I do is I advise people on how to network, because there's parts of my coaching program that I deliver is that how to network and build connections with people, especially in Dubai. I mean, let's say we are talking about Dubai here, right? And one of the things that people do mistakenly is they try to take before they give. Networking is about giving rather than taking. Focus on giving. The least thing you can do is that don't focus on, hey, hey, how are you, investor? I have a business. I'm looking for you to give me money. It's definitely not going to work. We have to establish trust. And the first approach, the first part to establish trust is at least to build that bond. Building a bond can start with giving something, at least an advice. When you ask someone for an advice, hey, you're an angel investor, and actually I'm an entrepreneur, I would love to hear your advice, Mr. Angel. And would love to know what you suggest. What is it about that, this or this? Maybe you can ask them for a cup of coffee. If there's a possibility to share thoughts, share ideas. Actually, when you ask someone for advice, you are giving him, like you are praising him for his experience and his knowledge. When you give something, expect something back. And actually, there's something I teach people about, which is the law of I keep forgetting the name. It's quite complicated. Reciprocation law. And it talks about if you want something from someone, deliver it first, give it first. This person will feel somehow obliged that you have to return it back. So when you give an advice, ask someone for advice, you're giving him this like you are charging his ego, and this person will say, yeah, well, why not? Let's give you that advice. I'll be more than happy to give it to you.
Exactly.
And this is a good way to start to establish the bond with this person. And later you can take it further to a point like, hey, who do you suggest me I can speak to get my business bootstrapped or to launch it? He might tell you, wait, tell me more about it. I would love to know more what you want to do. Or hey, I have that guy, please connect with him and tell him that it comes from me, Sheikh Ahmed, for instance. I have something here from Sunit. Can you please share us? Okay, this is a big question. Can you share with us how easy is it to start a business in Dubai, especially if it's a product-based, not a service-based? Yourself. Yeah, this is a big one. Actually.
Product-based. I guess product-based is going to be expensive to start business in Dubai. When you are selling, I mean, I don't know if he can just write for us, or maybe he can talk on the mic. What is the product? Is it like something to sell online, or it's just like a product, you manufacturing product, or what is it? Because if you are manufacturing product, it's going to be like really expensive. I mean, to create the factory. But if you are doing something online, selling a product online, then it's I can tell you today gonna be easy, like, because in Dubai they launched a new type of license where you can actually buy in 1,000 dirham for your e-commerce business. I mean, you cannot get any let's say visa on it, but it will help you to have a bank account and, you know, an online business. And yeah, but if it's like manufacturing product, then I think it's going to be expensive.
Yeah, I agree with you, especially
depend on the product. I mean, if he provides us with more details, we can actually provide him with more insight.
Yeah, interesting, because we have to know if this product is going to be manufactured inside the country. Is it going to be imported, exported?
Exactly.
What would you do with that product? Definitely, because even though if it's going to be at some point, maybe if it's going to be manufactured and it was quite complicated product, well, the cost will be extremely high, and we know that based on our expertise in UAE and Dubai. But when it comes to, well, let's say drop shipping, for instance, which I don't think it would be a smartest startup here. We're not talking about startup when it comes to drop shipping, unless you have that brilliant fusion idea where you want to mix drop shipping with some other idea, you want to put it together. Well, yeah, so we can reconsider the product here from this perspective. But again, this is about also considering importing, exporting, customs and stuff like that. So Sunit, please, I think you have a question. You're raising your hand. If you want to speak on mic, you're free to go. You can go ahead, Sunit, if you have a question.
Yeah, hi, this is Sunit here, Yusuf. It was a great session from your end. My doubt is that maybe if the product is made here in India and I would like to sell there in Dubai, okay, so it will be purely, exported from India and imported in Dubai. So how it works there means, like, if I want to post it on some e-commerce platform.
Okay, I get what you mean. Now, there are different ways to do it. You can rent out, let's say, a storage space in Dubai, and you can do a contract with a shipping company, shipping provider, and you can get the license for 1,000 dirham, which allow you to do it's like e-commerce license. You can get a bank account and you can run the business. So yeah. more or less that's what you need to do. Or if you are actually shipping from India, this is another example. If you are shipping from India, you don't need the product to be in Dubai, and the people actually can wait for the product to arrive to Dubai. And I don't think it's gonna take a long time from India to Dubai, like maybe a week time maximum. I mean, it's less than that, but anyways, with this situation. So I think you can you can do that by just advertising. I mean, if you can do a pilot by advertising your website in Dubai before you come and invest. You can advertise your website in Dubai, tie up with a shipping provider, see how much people are interested to buy your product, and you mention for them that this is the time frame to for the product to arrive. And yes, if you are selling product, I would really advise you to go for and to open your Instagram shop, because now Instagram here they open up the Instagram shop, which allow you actually to reach out more people. I don't know, like in some countries maybe available, in some countries not. In the UAE it's available. So and it's growing, and it has a very high potential, and you can advertise it from the e-commerce manager. So it's something really good. I don't know what's your website framework. Is it WooCommerce, Magento, whatever it is, but everything can be integrated with the Instagram shop. Yeah.
I think you have to also consider in this case Amazon fulfillment, right? Because if you want to compete with Amazon delivering products, you have, I mean, you just mentioned that you have to rent a warehouse. While maybe Amazon could fulfill that.
No, not renting a warehouse. He don't need to rent a warehouse. There are a provider which they provide you with the space only, so you don't need to rent the whole warehouse. And Amazon, they will do fulfillment only if you are selling through Amazon. So no other shipping provider can go and collect your product from Amazon. But Amazon is another good idea. I mean, if you have an Amazon account in India, Sunit, you can actually open up another account in Dubai, because Amazon give you that facility. So if you are a merchant on Amazon, you can open up different stores, let's say in Dubai or in Saudi, and you don't actually, I mean, they would do all the work for you. You can send your product for them, keep it, and they will ship it. So it's really a convenience. So yeah, I mean, this is a fulfillment center by Amazon. It's really good. And by the way, it's another example. You can reach out to individual store. There are so many online store in Dubai. So instead of actually investing, you can talk to them, give them your product, and they will sell it and ship it for you. So you don't store, you don't do anything. I mean, if you really want to sell your product, but if you want your brand to be there, then it's something else. But maybe you can do that as a pilot. Reach out different stores here, tell them I have the product, and they would sell it for you, and then see the demand, and then you can branch out here.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome, Sunny. Thank you for asking these questions. Guys, I hope I didn't miss any of your questions. If you still have, we still have like 5 minutes. If you have any questions, please drop it down. Just to let you know again that you can find my email. I just dropped it in the chat earlier. I'm going to do that again, as well as our link to our community, DueDash. You can get directly to our Dubai sparring ring, where I can connect you also with other founders, domain experts, as well as working together through the investability assessment, which will help you figure out whether you are ready for your investment or not, and how we can take it to the next stage for you guys. So again, our community is all about supporting you, connecting you with other founders, asking your questions. I'm definitely also here, since I'm running it here as Dubai city leader, I'm connecting you on WhatsApp sometimes to get easy access, meet up with you. I've met some amazing founders who, some of them are already in our Dubai sparring ring on DueDash, who are already also here in the chat. I'm so happy to have you all here. Again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to write that down. You can also speak on the mic if you find it hard to write it down, or drop it in the chat box. So 4 minutes left. Do you have any further, Youssef, do you have any further last steps or last secrets that probably people have to know about?
Yeah, I mean, whatever I had in mind, I just said it. But yeah, I mean, keep in mind, I mean, when you would actually seek for investor, be careful, because those investors, either they actually grow your business or they break it. I mean, they might interfere in a way which can actually cause damage for your business. So you need to be very careful. And when you are selecting an investor, because if you have a really great concept, money by itself is not the only things you need. I mean, if you have the idea, you could get the investment, but you just need to get it right, know how to present it, and you need to have that kind of marketing skills. I mean, you need to read. Okay, this is something which I would really recommend. If you are doing an online business, an e-commerce or any online solution, I would recommend you to use those solutions. AWS, as Marcus he mentioned, they are giving the Activate credit, so use that. Jira for business, for project management, and now Jira, they offer the cloud version for free up to 10 users. So use Jira to manage your business, your project. It's a very powerful tool. Use Confluence to create documentation. Documentation is very important for your business in general. And those for the not like very technical, and obviously there are other technical terms from Jira itself. And I don't know, try to use remote team as much as possible, because you could save a lot of money when you actually going into the remote. Yeah, that's what I can advise in the development. And by the way, when you are doing an offshore business, you will have an access in some countries, like, because for example, when we talk about the payment processing, for example, the top two payment processor is the Stripe and the Braintree, in my opinion. If you want to have an access for them, you need to be available in 26 countries. And Virgin Island and the Delaware allow you, actually, if you've done the business formation, allow you to access those. Now, people in South Africa and Australia and Europe, North America, they have access. They don't need to do that, but I mean, they need to do the business setup to get the payment processing, and yeah. That's what I can.
Thank you, Yusuf, very much. I'm taking the last question here we have from Anurag before we end this call. 1 hour have passed so far. How is B2B funding ecosystem is different? I think there's bigger question. B2B products are industry specific and may be hard to explain to investors. Is that so?
Oh yeah. How is B2B funding ecosystem is different? B2B industry specific. Yeah, I mean, I agree. When you are creating business which oriented as a B2B, it's different, but it has like more value in transaction. You know, like when you are doing in B2B business, you can actually get a bigger deal. You know, B2C, you have a customer who's coming to buy 100, 200, 300. The average value might be 1,000, for example. But in B2B, if you are creating something B2B, the average transaction could be, let's say, 10,000. And that would create an interest. But I mean, B2B, personally, because I have done that, B2B is good to go, not like with the VCs and that kind of style. B2B, it's more different even in the way you approach the investor. If you have, like, for example, a business, you want to do it as a B2B, you need to reach out to the people directly, to your network. You need to search for those people who would invest in your business, and, you know, talk to them and tell them like, okay, we are doing this. And in that, investment is more stable, because it's not stable, but like people can see it's a tangible, like mostly, you know, when you open a factory or you open a store chain and maybe something with brand. So it's more tangible, but like with the online and the B2C, it's like less tangible. So, you know, it has a complexity more. I guess B2B, it's easier to invest. And when you get the investments in B2B, the B2B investment can go from the bank itself. You know, like when you run a business B2B, you get an investment based on the contract you have. I mean, that's what I think the best. Don't go for investors, because they're going to be like very complex. If you're running a B2B business, you get a contract in the market, and then take those contracts to the bank, and the bank see the value of your business, and they give you a funding, and then you expand your business. and keep doing that. Yeah, that's how I think.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Yusuf, for clarifying all these questions and information and sharing with us your experience on how you got your business funded at some point, your experience going throughout all the funding options in Dubai. And thank you for answering all the questions, because actually guys here, they had really interesting questions that I didn't even think about them. But since we have already founders here and business owners, they're definitely going to come up with the right questions that are relevant to them mostly. Again, guys, as we said earlier, I shared with you my contact information. I invited you already to our link to connect our community, DueDash community. We would love to see you there. I would love to connect with you and connect you with other founders. You can learn a lot about our business and how to start a business in Dubai, how other founders experience, how to connect with domain experts as well, who can give you the advice. They are all on our community. Yusuf has shared with us his LinkedIn. Please check out Yusuf's profile as well.
Thank you.
LinkedIn profile. Okay, let me just go through a few. I have some comments here. Nikhil, Mr. Nikhil, actually, if you don't know Nikhil here, we have the godfather of DueDash. He's the founder of DueDash, Mr. Nikhil. Hi, Mr. Nikhil. How are you? We have the godfather here, so it's a pleasure, actually, an honor to have him in our community and in our call in specific, definitely. Of course, guys, just to know that we have also created on our community, our marketplace, actually. I would love to share with you all the links when it comes to this. Let me just give me a few seconds to give you the link. Marcus, if you have the link here, if you can put it together, the link for all the startup deals that we have, please share it down. I already in the beginning, Marcus actually shared with us a good intro about DueDash. What is it? And if you're interested, please make sure that you connect with me. I have some of you guys for you who are just connected with me. I'm going to share with you all the links, all the information about our community. If you have any questions relevant to DueDash community in general, I'll be more than happy to answer these questions. So please don't hesitate to connect with us. I think we reached an end here. We don't have any more questions.
I want to add, Haytham, sorry. I added another website called Magnet. I mean, for all those who actually want to get investment and they want to connect with VCs especially, they can sign up on Magnet and, you know, there might be a chances to get, you know, investment through that. But again, they need to invest in the pitch deck and whatever we just mentioned earlier. But it's a great way to connect with investor and to see who's available and what they are doing and so on and so forth. Yeah.
You're so welcome. That's good. Yeah, I know Magnet is a good media channel for sharing all the updates on the startups, especially the ones
here investment
in Dubai. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So again, guys, I want to say thank you to all of you. Willie was more than happy to have you around. Yusuf, thank you very much for showing us all the insights about investing in Dubai, how to find your investment in Dubai, how to get your business funded in Dubai. Looking forward, guys, to see you again in later event. Hopefully, maybe we can do that after the Christmas and holidays time. Thank you very much for being around. Philip, Sonil, Yusuf, Alex, Anurag, everyone, Mahdi, I'm so happy to find you here as well. Mahmoud, Mariam from Jordan, thank you very much. We have Reynolds, Rodolph, and we have Sharif, we have Shias, Sunit, Yamin, thank you all for attending this event. We're more than happy to have you around, and I hope that you have learned something, might give you some insights. More than happy to connect with you guys, to have you on board our DueDash community. Registration is for free. The links are all there. You can access to me directly through WhatsApp. You can call me anytime. You can have a cup of coffee. Find out how to make DueDash your asset or your tool to get the investment you need. So again, thank you very much all. Have a good night wherever you are. Good morning, good evening. Thank you all for joining us. Looking forward to see you soon.
Thank you guys.
Bye-bye.